Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you another video. All right, so the score was 121-110. The Lakers got the victory at United Center against the Chicago Bulls. And it was a interesting matchup, to say the least, because it was a game of runs. The first quarter, I did miss a good portion of it. Came in around the 2-minute mark of the fourth quarter. And the game was already in a position where the Lakers had already picked up about a 17-point lead. At that time, we put in our bench and it didn't sustain. We ended up coughing up that entire lead. And the Bulls ended up going up by, I think, about one or something like that. At the end of the day, we just could not get nothing out of our bench. And, it was one of those things where our starters was playing phenomenal. So, it was a tale of two teams. We put that Beasley lineup on the floor with Schroeder, Troy Brown. I don't remember who else was on there. Hachimura. I don't think it worked out, man. That's really what it came down to. We had a bad lineup down there with Beasley, and he was playing without confidence. It's really in his head at this point. I mean, he was just playing especially bad. Everything he was doing was just bad. It was really in his head, and so I don't know what he has to do to earn sitting time. Usually we say, I don't know what a guy has to do to get on the floor. I don't know what a guy has to do to be sat. I think Darvin. I don't know if there's been too many more times where we've seen how playing him has led to our detriment any more than tonight. It was just glaring, man. It was absolutely glaring. As soon as he checks in the game, everything went left. As soon as you check him out of the game, everything stabilizes and goes up. So, I mean, it's really that simple. And that's exactly what happened tonight. So you saw that happen. Every time he put him in, things went bad. Every time he took him out, things went better. And we were just kind of going through the ebbs and flows of that process as Darvin just continued to watch it play itself out. And I'm just sitting there like, Darvin's really not going to take this guy out. It finally got to a point where the kid was playing so bad. I mean, he had dribbled the ball off his own foot or something running into AD. And it was like, bro, he's been shot. His confidence has been shot for days. Like, he's been asking to be set for a minute now. And Darvin's just like, nah, we're going to play him. And it makes sense. And I'm just like, the Chicago game here, this one right here, that should have been it. That should have been it. He needs Lonnie's minutes right now. He needs Lonnie's minutes. And we know how many minutes Lonnie's been getting. That's how many minutes Beasley needs right now. It's just obvious, man. We don't need to even talk about it anymore. That's it. So let's get back to what was going right, because there was a lot of right down there. Anthony Davis, fantastic. He came back home to Chicago and put up a nice line, man. I think he had like 38 points, 2 blocks, 2 steals. I don't remember how many assists, maybe about 4 of them, and I don't remember how many rebounds. It has escaped me, but those 38 points, he was shooting. I think it was like 11 or 14 from the line. Definitely helped there. Just a really, really, really dominant performance from him. Offensive rebounds, key blocks, especially that swat on the end. I think it was on. I don't remember who he got, but he just gobbled up a play on the end. Couple nice lobs as well. Definitely great AD tonight. We saw him at his best for us. And it couldn't come at a better time. He did miss a few free throws and stuff like that. We still want to see him continue to put in hours with the free throw line since he's struggling. But other than that, I've been very happy with him in this particular matchup. Austin Reeves as well. He had a huge plus minus for us. Just was doing all the little things, getting and ones, being efficient, hitting his free throws. And, we just really like when we put the ball in his hands and allow him to do what it is he does in rhythm, because he's going to break up plays on the defensive end by drawing fouls the way that he does and getting boards and stuff like that. But he's also going to find a way to get and ones using his footwork and all different types of things that he's able to allow the referees to see happen down there and draw fouls and finish plays. So I thought that Austin Reeves really played well for us. Welcome back, D'Angelo Russell. He had a plus 35 plus minus, and that's with 3 turnovers attached to his name. So you could obviously see just about everything he did pretty much catered to the team's success. It was really that simple. You put him on the floor, and the way that his pace was used, the way that he was able to use pace rather, and just kind of keep the defense kind of having to, like, it's hard to explain, but because he uses speed in such a way where he'll run in front of you and then slow down, and you have to kind of play around him. You have to try to maneuver your body around him doing this to you constantly as he stops and goes and stops and goes. It just makes for a very difficult way to defend. He's not coming at you at the same speed everybody else. He's very careful. Most of the time, fast breaks go a certain way. He doesn't quite make the fast break happen in ways that are conventional. So you have situations where LeBron James kind of jump for a lob and it ain't nothing happening. But you like it because he's keeping the defense off balance, just like he's keeping his own team off balance in those situations. And because of it, he's able to draw fouls and do things like that. I think he's just very smooth, unpredictable kind of guy. And his three-point shot, when it goes up, it comes down as pretty as anybody's three-point shot in the league. So I've been frustrated with D'Lo because I understand how much we need what he does, and I see the difference he makes when he's out there. We couldn't get anything going for ourselves scoring the ball against Chicago Bulls at home. You put him on this floor at plus 35, and we win. And we're up pretty conventionally. And I told people, I need him on the floor. As a Laker fan, I know what I need. When we're going through some of the struggles we've had these last several games, I need D'Angelo Russell's doing the ability to do all the things that he did tonight. Keeping the defense off balance, keeping the score lopsided with his three-point ability, making plays for AD and Bron and everybody else around him, and just ultimately being sly and getting steals and stuff like that, jumping in passing lanes and things of that nature, rebounding the ball as well. I thought he rebounded pretty well tonight. So I was very happy with D'Lo, to say the least. And I know that we needed what he did down there, and he complimented our guys very well. And LeBron James, who got to slide into the other players as well who were playing well, that really had ridiculous plus minuses. You got to give the King his credit. I think his plus minus was above 20 as well. And he just did the things that you want to see him do as he's trying to work his way back in the rhythm. By the end of the second quarter, or rather by the end of the third quarter or so, you can see that he had his jump shot going. The Bulls kind of ran some small ball lineups with him on the floor, and as a result, he was able to shoot over some guys and stuff like that. Getting his jump shot really going. So I was very happy to see the jump shot fall. And, he's just getting his rhythm back there. He's still got some things to work through, obviously, with his conditioning and stuff like that. But once you start seeing a jump shot fall, you start seeing him, sliding at the rim, getting layups, stuff like that, he's getting there. But I saw him limping on that foot a little bit in the fourth quarter. And he also missed an up and under layup that I thought I had never seen him miss a shot like that. So I could tell that he's still going to have to work, toward getting back in shape. And all the different things that come with Father Time as well. So we just got to keep an eye on the King. But all in all, he looked good out there and contributed a great deal to our success. Vanderbilt as well. He was out there doing what he had to do, trying to guard DeMar DeRozan, putting himself in a position to have a good plus minus tonight for a change, since he had been playing so bad lately for his standards. But he got in the scoring column early tonight and helped his team get off to that hot start. And then from there, just did what he needed to do to rebound and things of that nature. It helped a lot. And off the bench, I thought that there were some guys off the bench whose plus minus not very good because they were down there, just kind of in those lineups that really didn't cater to any success. But I thought they did pretty good with the minutes given. A guy like Wenyen Gabriel, he didn't have no stats tonight but 3 rebounds. But those were 3 rebounds that I remember him getting, key rebounds, that kind of thing. So Rui Hachimura, I thought his jump shot looked really good tonight. I thought he was, doing the things that you want to see him do. Kind of put in the four lineup next to, I don't remember who he was next to. Playing the 4 and the 5, and you know me, Rui with the 4 is not my favorite thing because I don't look at him as a weak side help guy. And we saw situations where that went, that kind of went left a little bit. But all in all, I thought Rui Hachimura did good things with his minutes, and I liked the jump shot as it fell. Also, the lob dunk that he had to AD. We always want Rui to look for assists, and he got him one tonight. So that matters to me. I'm always looking for him to do that, and he did it. So, yeah, that's the kind of stuff I like to see. Dennis Schroeder, I want to give him his credit as well. Even though he had a bad plus minus, it was because he was in small ball lineups next to you-know-who. But when he was out of those lineups, he was really helpful, particularly in the fourth quarter, closing that thing out, getting to the line, slashing to the bucket, and just helping his team. So I thought his plus minus didn't necessarily reflect the eye test, and I thought Dennis played better than he looked like he did. And that's really what it was, man. You just had 3 or 4 players, pretty much 4 players who really just had a fantastic impact on winning for the Lakers tonight. Bron James, Austin Reeves, Anthony Davis, and D'Angelo Russell. They just really flexed hard and just made for us having a very good night overall, even though we had some stretches where we could not score worth a dang, man. Like that second quarter where we were really going on a long, I think it was like 4 minutes where we just could not buy a bucket, coughing up the lead, just leaning on Malik Beasley as he could continue to watch his confidence just squalor into nothing, man. I feel real bad for him, honestly, but I'm really frustrated with him at the same time. So it's no way for me to just care as much as I'd like to as it pertains to what I should when you consider the humanity part of it. But you can see it's in his head, and he really needs a boost of his confidence right now. It ain't as simple as a guy missing shots. He has lost his confidence completely. And I don't think that we can, you know, move forward playing him like this to begin with. But like at this level where he's not playing well in terms of his confidence, you just can't. He's unplayable, man. He is literally unplayable at this point. You're minus 20 when your team, everybody else on the team is a plus 25. You got a guy that's a plus 35 in your same position, more or less. Like this type of stuff. What does the guy have to do to sit down? So that's what I got to ask Darvin Ham, man. It just really comes down to that, bro. Because if you don't play him at all, we're up by like 40. That's how serious it was tonight. Because you could clearly see that there was only one detriment to the team, and that was when we were putting those lineups on the floor that he happened to be a part of. That he happened to be a part of, man. And I'm saying that with a whole lot of respect because it really just came down to one guy. As soon as we got him out of those lineups stabilized too. You saw that when he finally turned the ball over in that situation with AD. I mean, the passes, the lazy pass, it's just gotten to a point where it's like, look, man, I'm a fan of Lonnie. I know Lonnie does some things defensively that I'm not a fan of. You know, certain lineups you can't put him in. But if I know what I need from a guy, I know I can get it from him, and that's it. He's going to give me 30 points. He's going to hit 4 for 7 from behind the arc. He might have a couple steals to go along with it. If I just give him his minutes and put him at the shooting guard position in good, solid lineups that he could play in, that's good enough for me, man. I'm cool. I don't need Malik Beasley's three-point shooting because I already got Dennis Schroeder and Austin Reeves, who I'm very happy with. You know what I'm saying? I don't need nothing from Malik. Nothing at all. Like, even when we play him his minutes, it's not necessarily play him his minutes. Why? Because we really can get that production and other stuff out of other guys and none of the size issues. You know what I'm saying? And none of the size issues. So why am I doubling down and tripling down on three-point shooting? For what? What does it do for me when my other guys can hit threes too? Like, it's just it's mindless, it's irritating, and it causes our team to lose when he's down there, and unless he's hitting threes at a crazy clip, which we've seen twice, and it was amazing, and I really liked it. But this is not it. You keep leaving him out there, and his confidence is dwindling down because of it. Okay, so this is Darvin, man, and we're all sick of it as a whole entire fan base. We are collectively tired of Darvin's bullcrap, man. Seriously, I ain't even kidding. Everybody is. I haven't heard a soul that doesn't agree with me. Not one. We're all tired of it, Darvin. And we won, but it just comes down to looking at what you let happen, and you're like, yo, is he really gonna do this, yo? You gonna really leave this boy out here to just completely fall apart and let him fall apart and then get to a point where you just can't play him no more, and then he finally pulls him out, and I'm like, my God, it took this, huh? It took this? Anyway, man, that's my frustration. I don't know how to succeed in just being happy with the team winning when I see certain stuff that I know if we try again, we get beat. We can't do that against Minnesota. So I just want to see us use the length. You know, we're going to be going up against guys like Kyle Anderson. You know what I mean? Guys that are on that bench that have been playing very well for that Minnesota team. You know, I am looking forward. Thank you for the win in Chicago. We definitely appreciate being able to close them out. They ran a bunch of small ball, and we were happy that we were on the right end of that for the first time in about 2 years, because nobody else in the league runs small ball but us until we ran to Chicago this year. So thank you, Billy Donovan, for believing in that losing bullcrap. We were happy to take advantage of it tonight. I think you look at the free throw line discrepancy with the Lakers and other teams, and you just appreciate that you're a Laker fan. I know there are going to be a lot of people who are going to say that we're being kind of forced into the play-in tournament. But I look and say to all of them, look at our three-point shooting attempts. That's what I would tell people. We shoot a significantly less amount of attempts than most teams throughout the entire season we've done this. And the reason why is because we started our year so deficient from behind the arc and so very capable of scoring in the paint with players like Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, Austin Reeves, or Dennis Schroeder that specialize in driving at the rim. So as we've gotten shooters on our team, we've kept that model, you know, with LeBron James and Schroeder and those guys, D'Lo now. We've kept that understanding that driving at the rim gives us the best chance to score, and that the three-point shot should be used kind of sparingly, just the same. And so I think Beasley's on the floor not necessarily because he can hit threes, but because we want people to give us that much space for LeBron James and others to create. So as long as he's on the floor, whether he's hitting shots or not, in theory, he's going to be played so close around the perimeter that it's just more room to roam. So I understand what the idea is and why we do it that way. I think tonight we were able to get away with it to a degree because we were able to get so much out of everyone else. The efficiency from players like, Austin Reeves and Vanderbilt contributing to scoring, obviously having Bron and D'Lo back makes a difference from what we had been dealing with for the last several games. That D'Lo factor is huge. So it just kind of opened things up having D'Lo down there. I think it made life easier for AD. It allowed for him to attack more balanced in some ways, having him down there as well. I thought Schroeder looked good coming off the bench a little more than usual, coming from behind the bench from behind AD, not AD, but D'Lo. He hadn't looked very good since D'Lo had been incorporated into the starting lineup and having him come off the bench. But I thought tonight he really looked good with the minutes given. Even though, like I said, the plus minus didn't look that great. He was attacking well and he looked balanced out there. So all in all, I just look at this game and pleased that we won. I wasn't too thrilled about how everything went, given the fact that we were so incredibly hot and cold with those two separate lineups that just were very consistent. And you just found yourself rolling your eyes as he switched out of the good lineup and went into the bad lineup after watching the bad lineup cough up a 17-point lead. And then you proceed to watch them cough up another 17-point lead that they let dwindle down to 8 points. And the only reason why they didn't go even further is because the Bulls are running small ball and didn't really help themselves in that situation. So it's like, you watch your coach make the same mistake twice in the same game, and you just really it just eats away at your happiness as it pertains to what it is you're actually able to celebrate. When he's prone to do this again tomorrow or whenever, Friday, when we play the Minnesota Timberwolves. So this type of stuff, I'm just like, yo, man, I don't know what Beasley has to do, what he has to do to be removed from this dang lineup. But I think he's pulled it off. I think he pulled it off. And so that's where I'm at, man. I'm just thankful that we won. Like I said, AD was phenomenal. I want to give him his credit. Austin Reeves, D'Lo with the super 35 plus minus, which is absurd when you consider him being out for the last several games with the hip. I just thought it was a good energy matchup. D'Lo had a lot of energy. Patrick Beverley, you got to give him credit. Energy was all over the floor there. Zach LaVine dunking the ball and doing things that you would expect to see there. Vucevic, you got to give him his credit. He really had a fantastic game scoring the ball and rebounding and doing the things that you want to see him do for his team. Highly efficient, definitely the star on the floor for them. And Kobe White, why were you elbowing AD in the balls, bro? What was that? I laughed at that foul hard. I argue that might have been the dumbest foul I've ever seen. Truly. I mean, he's trying to, first of all, we did the little ball roll thing that I keep telling y'all we going to keep doing, but it's going to probably play against us eventually again, since we had it happen to us about 3 games ago with Wenyen Gabriel. We did that again on that play. And, of course, Kobe White was baited into trying to get the ball, but AD picked it up. And I guess this is a situation where, he's trying to reach for the ball himself. Kobe White is trying to go for it, but he leans in with his elbow twice. The first time he didn't get him. The second time he leaned in even further to try to, I guess, go for the ball, but he leaned in his elbow and directly connected with AD in that way, and that was not good, to say the least, because it ended up giving him a flagrant foul. Now, AD missed one of the free throws, but at least we were able to get the ball out of the situation, and it was one of those things. It's like, I honestly don't know what Kobe White was trying to accomplish, but I do appreciate that he did it, and I will recognize it as one of the dumbest fouls I've ever seen in my life. So that's what I wanted to keep on tab and let y'all know that was really helpful, very helpful. But I don't know what the heck he was thinking. So that was the second questionable thing by a Bull in these 2 series. The first one was Vucevic's, head knock over LeBron James, and then proceeded to act like he didn't do it and yell at the referees like he shouldn't have been called for the foul. I mean, he connected with the man almost with a full fist. I don't know what he was thinking. And then this night it's this elbow thing. I don't know what y'all got going on in Chicago, man, but we definitely appreciate how it turned out for us today. So yeah, man, I mean, hey, all in all, we start this road trip off the right way. We get the first victory here on the road. Chicago put up a good fight. They put on a good show in regards to their fans. There was a lot of Laker fans there, so we definitely appreciate the support. And I thought the game was pretty fun to watch if you're a Laker fan. I don't know how Chicago fans feel about it, because at the end of the day, I tell y'all, small ball angers me. Like it angers me when I see it puts a deep anger in my spirit to watch. Like I hate it. They've given me a complex for it here in LA. We watched this crap for 2 years and we know what it does. It does nothing for you. And the Bulls ran it against us. And sure enough, we were able to run the score up when they did, man. That's literally how it went. They put DeMar DeRozan, AC, Kobe White, Vucevic, and I don't remember. I think it was Zach LaVine on the floor. So I'm like, these guys are very small, man. And you had like Rui Hachimura, LeBron James, Anthony Davis on the floor. I'm like, man, seal off on them and just get easy buckets. Now, in the situation they did that, we were able to shoot over them, but we settled for long jumpers. We had a D-Lo 3 and 2 fadeaway jumpers from Bron, which I thought were dope, but we're shooting too far away. When guys are that small, you got to take them into the paint and turn them into foulers. So I just thought that that's, philosophy issue and not issue, but a difference. And I thought that we were able to see it succeed. But those are jumpers that could very easily miss, and you didn't take advantage of the size. So I that's just my thinking. But all in all, we were happy to be able to get a win against a team that unnecessarily ran small ball, man. I see why Vucevic is so stressed out up there, man. You have to deal with this nonsense. It's the only center. And he's not even a defensive center. It's a recipe for a nightmare. When you're fighting for your playoff life and you see your coach do that, you understand basketball like I think I do, it'll drive you nuts. Glad to be on this side of it. So that's what I got to say about that, man. Credit to them, but credit to us, because I think we came out and really took advantage. We had learned our lesson. I think Austin Reeves reacted better to the defense that was coming at him tonight, kind of the length that we had troubles with at home against these Bulls. We were able to kind of overcome. Turning the ball over was a real thing, man. We got to talk about that. We had, I don't remember how many points we ended up giving up at the end of the game, but last I checked, I think it was like 17 points off of 14 turnovers or something like that. It might have been even more points off of those. 24 points off. I don't know what it ended up being, but it was a lot of points off of turnovers. I just think that the Los Angeles Lakers really got away with it tonight because the Bulls were shooting so poorly from behind the arc, particularly in the first half. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, we cannot turn the ball over that much, give up that many points on those turnovers, off of those turnovers, and expect to be successful very often. So we need to tighten that up. I think we did some good things in the paint. Obviously, getting to the line, we're very happy about that. Guys hitting free throws tonight a little better than usual. We definitely appreciate that. Although I think AD still missed his 3 free throws on the night. It ain't a Laker night if AD don't miss about 3 free throws. But he hit 11 of them, so we definitely appreciate that. But all in all, that was the difference. If you look at the field goal differential, they were comparable to the Bulls. You look at our 3-point shooting percentage, we weren't that much better than the Bulls. But you look at that free throw line, we doubled theirs. And so that's going to be the story, man. I looked at a stat today. It was pretty glaring. It said, we were, 300 times more likely to get to the line than anybody else in the league. It was like a plus 400 to someone else's plus 100. It was, glaring. So that's my disclaimer, man. We drive to the rim. We don't shoot a lot of threes. That's my disclaimer. That's what I'm telling you. I'm sticking to it. And I like it. I like the fact that we're getting to the line more than everybody else. I want us to continue to limit our 3-point shooting. We call it 3-point shooting discipline around here. That's what we call it. So that's what it is. Whether we're shooting very well or not, it's not going to make a difference because we're going to limit them and we're going to continue to try to kill you at the line and in the paint. So Anthony Davis, kudos to you for making sure you got to the line as much as you did. Austin Reeves, Dennis Schroeder, you guys always kill it there and get us there. LeBron James as well, of course, getting to the line heavy. And that's where we win. That's where we win. And Vanderbilt actually chips in and gives us some scoring, which is really important, man. We got to get that guy a bit more confident scoring the ball, man. It's too many empty plays with him offensively. It gets to a point where it's like, yo, bro, come on. Score that ball like we know you can. Salute the Kobe minute, of course, man. But, we walk into the house of MJ, get us a victory. I thought that all in all, our teams just saw what it needed to see to further, have the evidence necessary to make the changes that we're asking it to make. Golly, man. Minus 20 when everybody else is at a plusity plus. It's ridiculous how plusy our team really was. And then you look at that one player, it's like, yo, coach, you're hurting him by putting him out there to do this, bro. His confidence isn't being lost because he's missing shots. His confidence is being lost because of the pressure of the moment while he's missing shots. You're throwing him out there to fail, and it doesn't even look good on paper to do. I can see if this is what you're supposed to do because the matchups dictate you do it, and he goes out there and shrinks. That's bad. But if you put him out there to do something that doesn't even play into his hands necessarily, and all of this is leaning on him to be successful, it's like, what the heck? It's like making someone display their weakness with the pressure of the team weighing on them. It's like, what the heck, bro? Don't do that to your players. So that's my thing with the organization, first of all. Not just Darvin Ham, but this is an organizational decision. You don't want to start a guy just because he's making $16 million when you know that's not his functionality to run your offense. You know it plays to your detriment 7 different ways, but you're going to do it anyway. So I'm sorry, man. I'm not one of those fans that know how to look at a victory and just be like, that's cool. We got to win. Yay, that's it. That's all there is to see. When I just kind of know where we're flawed and I'm looking for excellence within us, especially when some of this stuff is common sense stuff, yo. Some of this stuff is just like, bro, look, there it is. Okay, you pull them out. See what's happening now? All right, put them in. See what happened now? It's the stat. It's a child could see this, man. A child could see this. So I'm just tired of the overall lack of attention to detail. I'm trying to be really, really respectful, man. But I just want to see smart coaching, please. So that's where I'm at with that, man. I don't really have too much else to say because I missed a good portion of the first quarter of this game. So the run up and everything that led up to that, I haven't seen as much as the highlights of that. I don't know what happened, but I know we had that 17-point lead. I did see the stats, and it did tell me that we got out to a nice hot start with Vanderbilt, Austin Reeves, and Anthony Davis, and that should have been sustainable if not for just a bad rotation decision that ultimately gave the Bulls on a bad night, a tired Bulls team on a bad night, an opportunity to actually feel like they were going to win this game for a little bit. When we know dang well they weren't playing well enough to do that. You know, I think Patrick Williams like 0 for 5 at the end of that game after coming off of a really good, efficient game against the Clippers. He didn't have nothing for his team tonight. We were appreciative of that. I don't remember seeing Drummond down there at all. I guess they just forgoed an opportunity to go to the guy that was killing us in the last game for an opportunity to run small ball. I mean, small ball. I'm telling y'all, I got a complex about it. I can't. Even when I watch the opponent do it, I get angry. That's how bad it is at this point. I just want the whole league to do away with small ball forever. Please. So that's what I got to say, man. Glad it was done against us so we could take advantage of it. Glad LeBron James got his jumper falling. I think that's what I really took from this game. Also, it's just how quickly he's able to get his jump shot going back to where it needs to be. You know what I mean? That is going to help us. If he's getting his easy buckets and stuff like that, a lot of these problems that we've had without him, it's just going to happen because the score is in a different place with his scoring. That's it. Him and D'Lo make it so that all these problems that we've been dealing with lately, they just get masked even further. Like Anthony Davis is supposed to mask a lot of problems, but some of these scoring issues and stuff like that, we shouldn't be having these issues much longer if LeBron James can get back in this form and D'Lo can as well. So, yeah, that's what I could say I took from this game. Troy Brown was a no-show in the stats tonight. I don't think he scored. But again, this is one of those games where we just kind of got away from our bench altogether. It was like our coach really thought the bench was the problem. It was only one player. It's only one player on that bench that really hurt the team. Wenyen Gabriel's minutes have now been shrunk down to like 12 minutes, 15 minutes. That's not enough, bro. That's not enough for what it is we're dealing with. We need Wenyen Gabriel on the floor. Plenty. And all you got to do is slip some people to the three. And you can do that. And, of course, moving Malik Beasley also allows for more as well. You know, I look at Max Christie. I say this every night. I look at Max Christie and I say, you got to really feel a certain way about this. When you watch a guy like Malik Beasley play so bad, so consistently, and you can't get no minutes. And it's like a lot of people have a lot to say about Lonnie Walker's defense. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing bad about Max Christie's defense. And it's like you see him get the minutes that you should be getting. It's like, yo, have I not proven myself to at least be a smart player with the limited minutes that I've gotten all season long for you? Your team needs what I do. Why is it that this player has so much more rope than me? I'd say that if I were Max Christie all season long, bro. And it's a different player that has more rope than him all season long. And he to me is more valuable than all of those guys. But Patrick Beverly, Dennis Schroeder, guys that we've played over him, Malik Beasley, he's more valuable than those players in the long run. He's going to develop into something that's more expensive than them. And so for me, it's just watching this brain dead nonsense from my franchise irritates my intellect, man. I hate it. I literally hate stupidity, yo. And so that's what it comes down to, man. I just want our team to have a little bit of common sense as it pertains to developing these players, since we really literally need what he does, versus the stuff that we just continue to lean on that just absolutely just fails all the time, yo. All the time. You know what I'm saying? Just leaning on him, he just failing and failing some more, flailing arms and failing circumstances. Please sit this guy down and put in Max Christie so he can show you that he's yet another Austin Reeves and would help us win these games. That's all. And I know he's had some bad turnovers, but have we not seen bad turnovers from Beasley? Have we not seen bad turnovers from Bron? Have we not seen bad turnovers from Schroeder? Have we not seen bad turnovers from Austin? Everybody on this team has had bad turnovers at some point, bro. And that's the only thing I've seen Max Christie really do wrong, is turn the ball over just like the best player on the floor does. So please, can one of our best defenders get off the damn bench, coach? My God, man. So that's where I'm at with it. That's my attitude after a win, because my team is still in the dumps and we don't have to be, man. We're fighting for our playoff rides in 9th place. Hopefully we scooted up to 8th place after this win, but I really don't know where we're at. We're still paying attention to other teams, and there's a lot of them playing tonight. So a lot of things have yet to shake out, and so I'm not going to pretend to know what they all are. But I know Dallas got beat again. I know that much. So, you know, we'll continue to rise above them and let them do whatever it is they doing in Philly as they continue to struggle. So that's what it is, man. I'm a happy Laker fan. You wouldn't tell if you listen to me talk, but, you know, positivity for me as it pertains to the basketball game, with all due respect to everybody who's playing hard and deserves to be heard from, in regards to their positivity, I don't have to focus on positivity. We got that part under control. Everything we do right, that means we did it right because we know what we need to do and we did those things. We need to focus on the weaknesses. If you want to get good at what you're doing, the only reason why you're as good as you are is because you did this in other areas. You got to focus on those weaknesses. You can't sit back and just celebrate everything you do right and do everything that you do right over and over and over again without, paying attention to these little things that need to be taken care of. You know, rotation decisions that we should never have happen. Turnovers and stuff like that. We need to do a better job hitting free throws and things of that nature. We're not out of the woods just because we were able to beat a small ball Bulls team that was exhausted. No. They were exhausted. And in the same game, they actually had a lead. They were tiny. In the same game, they had a lead. Nah. I'm sorry. We got weaknesses to address. We're going to be going up against Twin Towers in the next game. No center added to this roster yet. But we got two 7-footers. Two 7-footers. I don't know how we're supposed to rebound and get offensive rebounds against those dudes. Not to mention the McDaniels and Reed will be available. So I'm like, look, man, if y'all want to celebrate the Chicago game, that's great. But I see a very tough matchup ahead, and we got some hard work to do. So, you know, it ain't going to be easy. Anthony Davis got to put his hard hat on, get right back out there, man. But for now, I'm going to give you the game ball, even though D'Lo's plus minus tells me that he had a massive impact on this game. But with him, you know, with AD doing ultimately what he needs to do to kill it on both sides of the floor with defensive stats, offensive stats, rebounding the ball, getting to the line, and ultimately just making his Chicago hometown feel his presence in a Laker uniform with the victory in a must-win basketball game. So we've been giving him a lot of hell for not showing up or not being available or whatever the case may be. I watched Carcino's video today. I heard what he had to say. I know what's being floated around in regards to AD's status as a Laker and his desire to play for our team. But he answered the bell tonight. We don't know how much longer we have this core. We don't know how long guys are going to be here. But we do want to take advantage of the moment that we have, because we could do something special if we get out of our own way. If we get out of our own way. So this ain't the time to be thinking about the distant future. This is the time to be thinking about Minnesota. And that's what I expect our team to do. We're hungry. We must win. The teams around us are fighting for their playoff lives. They must win. And this Minnesota team we're going up against, unlike the Chicago team, if we lose to them, it has playoff implications that could directly affect whether or not we get in or get out. So we don't need to be losing no games at all, and definitely not any games to a team like Minnesota, who's in this playoff hunt battle right next to us. So this might be the most important game of the season. This right here coming up. We need to beat this team. It's that simple. Karl-Anthony Towns, Slow-Mo, Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley, Vando, Beasley, and D'Lo are turning back home. When I say home, I mean this is a team they played for multiple years together. I expect them to have some pep in their step. I know Beasley's number is going to get called. Our coach ain't going to bench him. We ain't going to do what we're supposed to do. He's going to have to be out there, and I'm expecting him to show up with some pride. Lick your wounds. Hug your child. Whatever you got to do. Say a prayer. Drink some milk. I don't care. But get back out there and shake this off. Because the way I saw him play tonight, he didn't have no confidence. And I seen this dude win 2 basketball games for this team since being traded here. And that's more than I can say for a lot of people on this damn team. So let's be real. Malik Beasley is struggling. He's struggling bad, and he does need to be benched. But he's also somebody who can win the game for us on 89 threes. So let's have some balance about it. And let's put him in positions to succeed and not leave him out there to get hunted defensively. That's all I'm saying. So lay off of the man. Don't get on his case and giving him all kinds of hell, Laker Nation. I've done enough of that in this camera myself, and I'm going to continue to. I'll do it for you. Don't give him no more hell. Let's just keep it at an understanding that the guy's confidence is low, and we're not going to make it any better by piling on and hitting him on his Twitter and all that. That's not going to help. If we want to win, we got to push the right buttons from our side too, fans. So that's what it is. And as far as everything else, man, I'm happy that we won. Give our guys credit. They came into Chicago having their butts whooped by the same team a couple days ago, and they took their lick back, just like I told them they need to do. Not on some scared stuff, not worried about giving up the lead, not worried about no scoring drought, not worried about the struggling players and all that. None of that. Just go out there, look at who's up against you, and take advantage of what it is that they're giving you. And that's what we did tonight. We attacked them. We scored on them. AD hitting threes from the corner. D'Lo hitting threes in the corner. We put ourselves in a position to attack them properly. Scored in the paint, got to the line, and shot the ball where we could. And took advantage of some anemic shooting from a tired team. So that's what it was, man. Very happy that we beat these Bulls. Especially with Patrick Beverley running around talking the way he talking, fouling people, and being all demonstrative and all that. He was a lot. He was a lot this season. He was a lot. And we appreciated his contributions to our team this year. We definitely appreciated that he was hustling hard for us and hit some big shots for us and getting big steals and just ultimately beating our guys. I think he made some guys better. Playing and helping these guys in practice, I think he made some guys better. But at the end of the day, he wasn't utilized properly. We had him down there in small ball lineups that I used to complain about. Darvin Ham used the man like his name was Michael Jordan or something like that. And as a result, we became sour. We became sour on Patrick Beverley because he was a part of what ultimately was a big problem for us. And we leaned on him, giving him 38, 39 minutes and stuff just for him to have struggles. So, that's how we started to develop our frustration for Darvin Ham, our frustration for the small ball. And so we understood that Patrick Beverley felt, like he got slighted here, just like probably Beasley is right now. But I tell you the same thing about Beasley. I tell you this about Patrick, that if our coach put them in positions to do things that help them be showcased to look good, you wouldn't have any problems with those players at all. And so that's how I feel, man. I just felt like, Patrick wasn't used properly here. We were happy to move on from him. He's in a place where he can be appreciated, and they're fighting for their playoff lives, having won a game against us. So I think that he got what he wanted, we got what we wanted, and all is well. So I wish him well. I don't have no bad thoughts about Patrick Beverley. No disrespect to him all the times I was talking crazy about him, but I want to win, bro. At the end of the day, I want to win. So salute, Pat. But we were happy to get that victory tonight. So that's what I got to say, man. That's it. I'm very happy. Salute to all the guys. AC, NBA champion with the Lakers. Definitely appreciate our guy, Caruso. And anytime we get a chance to see him, it's always awesome. Definitely want to give a shout out to DeMar DeRozan, hometown kid. Zach LaVine got roots to LA. They got a lot of guys in that team that have LA roots. So we definitely salute those guys. And we got guys, of course, that got Chicago roots. Salute as well to the Shy. So it is what it is, man. We got the victory at the United Center. It's always something to see when you go there because the statue outside of MJ just helps you understand what the culture is. It helps you understand where you at, and that's important. So we're happy. We come in, having been humbled by this team, but also with the intention of flexing and letting them know what we're about, and that we're not trying to bow out this playoff race at all. So just like they're fighting for their playoff lives, we doing the same thing, and we're gonna get to the line doing it pretty much. So that's what I gotta say. My name is BDF44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.